Hi guys, welcome to Unit 2, Lesson 4, Solve two-step inequalities. So we already did a tiny bit of this with one of the problems that I did in my last video for Lesson 3, but this time the operations are more clearly defined on their own into two different steps. Okay, so the same rules apply with our work with equations, right? Two-step equations. You still have the goal of getting the variable isolated on one side, and all of the rules for integers still apply. Okay, so I have three examples set up for us today. The first one is 5x plus 12.5 is less than 23.1. Okay, so just treat this like an equation. First, you're going to get rid of either addition or subtraction, right? I mean, and if you even want to think about like PEMDAS, right? We're working backwards from PEMDAS when we're solving for a variable. So first we would get rid of addition or subtraction. So right now I am adding 12 and 5/10. In order to get rid of it, I need to subtract 12 and 5/10. And whatever I do to one side of my inequality, I have to do to the other. Okay, so 12.5 minus 12.5, that gets me down to 0. So those cancel. We're left with 5x is less than, and then with this, I mean, I have it set up. We could just solve it with this. You can use a calculator to check your work, okay, which, at least with checking work, I would highly recommend. When you are subtracting with decimals, your decimal comes straight down into your answer. 1 minus 5 can't do that, so I'm going to borrow from my 3. 11 minus 5 is 6. 2 minus 2 is 0, and then 2 minus 1 is 1. So that gives us 10 and 6/10. I'm going to check my work just to be safe. 23.1 minus 12.5, 10.6. We're good to go. So then next we are multiplying by 5. In order to get rid of it, we're going to do the opposite operation, which is division. So I'm going to divide. Whatever you do to one side, you have to do to the other in order to keep the equation balanced. 5 divided by 5 is 1, so those cancel. We're left with 1x, or just x, is less than. And since we've already got this set up, 10.6 divided by 5 gives me 2 and 12/100ths. Okay, 2 and 12/100ths. That would be our final answer. You can plug it back into the original equation, check your work. Does it come out as true? Okay, and go from there. So to do that, you would choose a number that is less than 2 and 12/100ths. You could just do the number 2, all right, and see what you come up with. Let's go. We'll just do that real quick. I should do that for you, right? So our original equation was, or I'm sorry, inequality was 5x plus 12.5 is less than 23.1. Well, if I plug, let's just plug 2 in there. That means we have 5 times 2 plus 12.5 is less than 23.1. Well, 5 times 2 is 10 plus 12.5, oops. Well, 10 plus 12.5 is 22.5, and 22.5 is less than 23.1, so I know that my answer is correct. Okay? On number 2, I think this was number 4 from your practice. Okay, now it's kind of tiny. Let me zoom in there a little bit. I did my best to draw that same graph. With this one, we are writing an inequality from the graph. So first thing we need to do is we need to figure out, well, where does our graph start? And that's this right here. Okay, which it's very visible on your computer, like on the lesson, but hopefully you can see that each one of the numbers is broken up into fourths. Okay, so this right here, we could say it's either x, and then this is 4 and 1/4, or you could, and I think in your lesson, it might say 4 and 25 hundredths, which is it's just the decimal version of 1/4, okay? And then remember, your symbol should match the end of your arrow. So that looks like a greater than symbol. So we need a greater than symbol, whether you do it as a fraction or as a decimal. But then the circle right over here on top of the 4 and 1/4 was colored in. So since it was colored in, it's a greater than or equal to symbol. Okay, you can't forget that. So keep that in mind as you're building those graphs, okay, or analyzing them. Okay, one more. This is from your quick check, and I didn't write down which number it is. Let me see if I can find it real quick. My computer's acting up a little bit, so it's kind of hard. Let's see. This is modeled after number 3 from your quick check. Sorry for that little delay. This is modeled after number 3. Okay, so in number 3 it says solve the inequality 6x plus 9 is greater than 57. Which of the following graphs shows the solution? So we're going to build the graph, but then when you go to do your quick check, you'll just have to make sure you find the right one. Okay? So first off, solving it, once again, if we consider PEMDAS and working backwards from it, first we're going to get rid of addition or subtraction. So right now I'm adding 9. To get rid of it, I'm going to subtract 9 from both sides. Okay, 9 minus 9 is 0. Those cancel. We're left with 6x is greater than, and then 57 minus 9 is 48. Okay, now we're down to a one-step equation. We have multiplication happening. So to get rid of it, we're going to divide both sides by 6. What that's going to do is it's going to cancel out the 6 that's attached to the x. X is now isolated or by itself on the left. Our symbol stays the same for right now as a greater than symbol, and then 48 divided by 6 is 8. Okay, so then to build our graph, or for you, you're going to have to find this graph as one of your answers. Again, I always put it as 8, or like whatever this number is, I put in the middle. They're not going to always do that on your lessons, so just be aware that we're looking for that 8. Okay, and then you can build your number line from there. Okay, the 8 is where my circle is going to go. I'm going to circle 8. I am not going to color it in because this is not a greater than or equal to symbol. So yes, this is where our graph starts, but we're not including 8 in our number set, or like the answers that can be included, okay? Because if I were to plug 8 in here, 8 is not greater than 8, right? 8 is equal to 8, but so it's not part of this. With this, the greater than symbol looks like this end of the number line, or it looks like it's pointing to the right. So that's the direction that my arrow should face as well. Okay? So you're looking for a graph that looks similar to that. All right? And as always, if you need extra support, just let me know.